Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings. I pray that all is well and everyone is in the best of health and spirits. It is your sister and brother Sean Ali for the Health and Wellness Power Hour. Today we're coming on for part 2 of How to Eat to Live. Fasting is the cure and how to apply it. So as you come in, please share the video. All right. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Sean.
Well, alaikum assalam, sis.
How are you?
All is well, man. Alive.
Yeah, I know that's right.
In the land of the living.
The best place to be.
Have no
Right.
problems, no worries, no issues.
Exactly.
Hey, look, my motto is I will save all of that stuff for when I die.
Right. That's funny. Yes, sir. Let me is the sound okay?
Yes, ma'am. I hear you.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started into our topic, how to eat to live. Fasting is the cure and how to apply it. What are your thoughts on that today, Brother Sean?
And that's something that, as a believer as well as a medical scientist, that I've seen a lot of, stuff that is accurate, inaccurate, or and that's why we wanted to make this show so we can go right into it. And we're coming from the foundation, the root of fasting is a cure, comes from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad by way of the How to Eat to Live books, right? So in it, it is a paragraph where he gives us, and I got it written down, I would like to read. It says that the fact that fasting is the cure for 90% of our ills is known by the medical scientists, but they do not teach you that. And this is 100% right. And one of the reasons why I wanted to go and become a medical scientist myself. One is so I can go and prove that what this part of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching is true, but also to how do we apply this? Because even since 1965, it's been a struggle to the point where at the 2018 Savior's Day where we were at in Chicago, the minister seeing the condition of us, the believing body, said, you know what? 1 meal a day will be now the law. And he went into how eating to live was the one thing he struggled with. And he was like trying to figure out what did he have to do left. This is in 2018. He's telling us he's trying to figure out what is left for him to do. And he said it's with how to eat to live. Right. So when we are looking at this, fasting is our cure. So let's just start with what is fasting, right? So when we look at this short little word, fasting is simply the act of doing nothing. Listen, it's the act of doing nothing. So when we understand that the preface of why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us this, because the condition we were found in, we were eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in between. Right. And not just eating that much, but we were eating the poorest quality of food, right? So our physical condition was a manifestation of our eating habits. We were dying, we were suffering, we were at the hospitals, we were doing everything but living. So he comes and he says, hey, the fact that fasting is the cure for 90% of our ills. So now, if we look at this sentence right here, where he says fasting is the cure for 90% of our ills, when we look at the causes of death, you have heart disease, number 1, cancer, number 2, respiratory problems, number 3, and so on and so forth. All of these, when you look at the science of them, we are taught in school that all of these conditions are controllable and preventable. Listen, they teach you that all of the causes of death, heart disease, unless you are born with it, the only other way you can get these is if you cause it. So look what he says, that the fact that fasting is the cure for 90% of our ills. Why and how? Because in that 90%, we aren't born with those elements. We aren't born with those ills, high blood pressure, diabetes, hypertension, obesity. You aren't born with these things, right? So when he says that fasting is the cure, he gives us an example. It's a letter in one of the books about diabetes. And he said, he didn't say take a drug, take a herb. He didn't say, he said stop eating the foods that cause.
Oh, stop doing what causes it. And what I love about it, how simple he makes it. It's nothing complicated.
No,
it's nothing complicated.
No. So exactly. So when we say that the fasting is the act of doing nothing. So when we go do Ramadan, for those Muslims that participate in Ramadan, you abstain certain activities that will take you out of a certain mindset. We want to be righteous. We want to be peaceful. We want to be elevated. So we abstain from any act that takes us out of this mindset, right? So it is the act of doing. It's not mysterious. It is God, because in the Holy Quran, Allah says fasting is prescribed for you. Oh, you who believe. Fasting is prescribed for you like it was for those before you. So when we looking at this, we create the effects, cause and effect. We create the imbalance. 90% of our ills comes from our eating habits and our lifestyle.
Right. What we think and what we eat.
There's no set. In book 1, he says there's no set time for us to die. We kill ourselves daily by what we think, what we eat, and what we drink. That's where that 90% of our ills come from. He let us know how we lose our beauty appearance, right? By the foods that we eat, rob us in the way that we think, robs us of our beautiful outside appearance. So when we fast, we are fasting from those thoughts. We are fasting from those foods. So now when you go through a period of not eating these things that are causing damage, what happens? Your body has a chance to get rid of the things that you ate.
To repair.
You start to have bowel movements. You start to, because you're not polluting yourself no more. You're not in the course of digestion. So look, I just want to go ahead. I'm listening to you, sis. Go ahead. I know you got something for us.
Oh, yes. I was saying, we're allowing the body to rest and repair itself when we abstain from those things that are harming it.
Right. And when we are looking at how the human body works, our anatomy, our physiology, our biology, the body doesn't do two things at one time, meaning you don't eat and have a bowel movement at the same time, unless you eating one of them foods that upsets your stomach. But on normal circumstances, you don't eat and have a bowel movement at the same time. This because it's two different phases. You got your catabolic and your anabolic. So when we are looking at eating is, we gotta understand this. Eating is a stressor. The act of eating causes stress in the body. The more complex the meal, the more intricate the meal, the more stress we are under to break that stuff apart. Because when you eat, the catabolic stage has to break it down. So when you're eating, if you eat breakfast, if you're eating lunch, if you're eating dinner and snacks in between, you are always in a perpetual state of catabolic, of breaking down, of digestion. You aren't using nothing because the body can't break it down and use it at the same time. It has to break down to the lowest common denominator before it can use it. So when we're looking at me eating more than once in a 24-hour period, right? This is me keeping myself in a state of stress. When the human body is in a state of stress, it's in the fight or flight, right? Your blood pressure is elevated, your heart rate is elevated, your muscle tensions is elevated because you are in fight or flight. So you're not breathing properly, your emotions are high wired, your body is in a state of weakness, and at that moment, anything can happen to you. Any little thing. COVID-19 has a 97 to 99% recovery rate. Wow. This is but when we are in that state of stress, those people like the obese people and elderly are the ones that succumbing to it more than others because they are in a constant state of stress. And in that, your body is weak. So when we fast and when we fast, we come out of this catabolic state. So the next state is anabolic. This is when your body uses what you have eaten. So when we fast, that automatically switches the physiology in our body. And it goes from a state of digestion to a state of usage. Right? So now my body is using these things. It's using that adipose fat tissue. It's using all of those stored hormones, that stored fat, that stored energy, that waste that we collect in our midsection. The body can now is in a state of usage. So you see yourself using it. And as it's using it, you're losing weight.
Right.
Listen, because it's using the material. So you lose. So now
the body's naturally balancing itself.
I couldn't have said that. Man, that is wow. It's naturally, but when we look at our immune system, I have a book called Understanding Our Immune System. In this, I have a chapter that deals with fasting and fasting, God's prescription. And I give us a demonstration on the importance of putting ourselves in this anabolic state, putting ourselves in this state of usage. It switches that gear because this is that detox. This is how I clean out my body. And you can hear all of these herbs, these supplements, or these foods or drugs that can cleanse your body, cleanse your liver, cleanse. Okay, let's just say let's say today is what? The 6th?
Yes.
So today is 2/6. Let's say I detox today.
Actually, the 3rd, Brother Sean. I apologize.
Oh, man, see, I'm in the future.
We both in the future.
Y'all better catch up with me.
Right.
Let's say you detox on the 3rd, right?
I have to
check.
check.
Your system is clean. You done just cleaned your liver. You done cleaned your colon. You done did all of that, right? On the 4th, you eat. Now you have just put, this is the cycle. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad tells us that we eat no more than once every 24 hours. Listen, he said we eat once every 24 hours. What does this do? He said, now this, once you eat, you're in the catabolic state. You're breaking down. After you break, your body breaks it down, it goes into the anabolic state and it uses it. So if you eat once every 24 hours, you give your body that chance to break everything down and to use it all to exhaust it. Properly, so there is no waste or potential poison left inside your body. So you have no need to ever detox again. See, you have no need to ever cleanse your liver, cleanse your colon, cleanse your kidney, because you're not polluting your kidney, your liver, and all of these things.
Right, so, right.
When we
so that one meal a day is a fast. If we go every 24 hours, that's a fast. And that's why he said fast with the proper foods.
See, you must have knew what I was already writing.
Right.
In the hereafter, he said there's no drugs, no medicine. He said the proper food at the right time. Or the right foods at the proper time, and you will never get sick. Food is our energy and our building blocks. So if you are giving it what it needs and you aren't polluting it what it don't need. See, that's the key to how to eat to live. Is before we put anything in our bodies, we have to ask ourselves, does my body need it? And does my body want it? Because if I put something in it that it does not need or want, what happens to my body? It's in a state of stress. Eating is a stressor. See, so if you put something in your body that it doesn't want or need, and it's sitting there, it's just sitting there, because your body is a machine. So if it doesn't know what to do with it, it'll just sit there. That's why we collect that midsection weight, that material. Right. So this means that you are in a state of stress. This means that you are in a state of imbalance. So when we fast, we give our bodies a chance to eliminate that stressor. You save your stomach. You save your stomach. So when you're looking at this, the stomach is a bag. It's not a muscle, it's a bag. Right? So all it does is it creates that acid and it churns whatever you put in it so it can liquefy it to send it down into the intestines. Right? So we can easily wear this out. We can easily stretch it out of proportion. We can easily overwork it. So within 30, 40, 50 years, you got ulcers, you got acid reflux, you got all of the things of a damaged stomach.
Yes.
We cannot live that long. We're not in, it's impossible because this is your engine to break down what you put in.
And so then when we do eat that one meal a day, we have to make sure that we're properly chewing our foods before we even swallow.
And that's a lot of ways how we overeat and we lose that valuable nutrition because we're putting, if the chunk is that big, your stomach cannot break that down. It has to be.
It has to slide down your throat. Yeah. Not you about to choke trying to swallow your food.
The esophagus is just a tube too. So it works off of convulsions to push that food down. So we want to chew it up to a slurry. So by the time it gets here, the stomach has to do little to no work. Little to no work, because we done all it's mechanical digestion. This is chemical digestion. So both of them are a state of stress. The longer we can keep this stomach idle, the less stress we have. The less stress we have, your immune system is working, Your lymphatic system is working. Your reproductive, all of your systems are working. So you are healthy and strong. So if a pathogen, a bacteria, or a virus, you encounter it, your body will easily overcome.
Right. Right.
Because we can hear soursop helps with cancer. You can hear turmeric helps with arthritis. You can hear onions and garlic and all of these other herbs, bladderwrack, St. John's wort. You can hear about how all of these herbs help. And I'm not taking nothing away from them, but our immune system, man, a white blood cell works better than all of them. You got T and B cells that remember. They don't just work, but they remember. So if you ever get sick again, they know. See, but if
that's intelligence, supreme intelligence.
But it only works when we're not in that state of stress.
Right.
Eating is a stressor. It's just what it is. So when we fast, we are eliminating that stress, that potential stress, because we overeat anyway. So
and then some of us stress eat when we're feeling stressed. And so that's stress on top of stress.
And that goes into the fast because it's mental, emotional, spiritual, as well as physical. So when I'm fasting, the intention that I'm going into it is I want to better myself. I want to improve myself. It's not just about me eating, because he tells us we are the God of this body, that we can train it to do whatever. We can't, like, I can shoot basketball, but I had to practice to dribble. I had to practice to get that shot right? So it took me a little bit to get it right. But once I got it, I can hit it from anywhere because I got the form down. You see what I'm saying? So once you learn about that wrist action, see, you can shoot from anywhere like Steph Curry, and bam, it's butter. See, so listen, if I can do that, for me to train myself to eat one meal a day, that's easy. For me to say, because when I eat in that one meal, I'm going to make sure that I'm giving my body what it needs. And in the course of that 24-hour period, I'm getting sunlight. I'm getting sunlight. I'm outside getting oxygen, right? I'm exercising, because exercise creates endorphins, and that is energy. That's a chemical composition inside of you, right? So I'm making sure that I get rest. Now, these things will help me get through that 24-hour period.
Right.
If I'm breathing right, you mentally stable, you emotionally stable, right? Your brain is on 10. If you go out and get sunlight, you mentally stable, you emotionally stable, your brain is on 10. If you exercise, you're mentally stable, emotionally stable, you on 10. So if you get rest, you are mentally stable, emotionally stable. So now when it comes to controlling my body, and I get that hunger feeling from the stomach, my stomach growl, we all get it, right? So now I know that I can turn it off with my thought.
Absolutely.
I can control it with my thought, because I know that if I eat once every 24 hours, I'm improving myself. I'm strengthening myself. I'm lengthening my life. Look, in the book, he's asked a question, right? He said, now he's asked, what if you eat once every 24 hours and that doesn't work, or that doesn't make you healthier, what do you do? He said, eat once every 48 hours. Good. Listen.
Right.
He was asked. He said, if you try once every 24 hours and that doesn't work, what do? He said, go to once every 48 hours and you won't be sick. Man. So this is it. And I'm saying this because, like you said, sis, he taught us that what we participate in Ramadan is not really a fast, because it's only abstaining for a few hours, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and if we're doing how to eat to live properly, that's what we're doing. That's what it is.
A perpetual fast.
Exactly.
You're sustaining for a long period, enough period of time, so that whatever you put in you can get out. It won't interfere with your immune system and your ability to protect yourself, right? So this is what, because when we look at food, you can go 30 to 40 days without food. So how we can't starve within a 24-hour period. We can't starve within a 48-hour period. We can't starve within a 72-hour period, right? Because it takes 30 to 40 days to starve to death. So that sharpness, that sensation that we feel when you're fasting, you don't call it pain. You don't call it hunger. You call it cleansing, right? So when we yes,
that purification,
right, and that helps me mentally. That helps me mentally get through this action of fasting,
right?
Because we don't lose fasting physically, we lose fasting mentally, right? I smell something and it made me hungry.
Look, instead of smelling the food, let's open some. What is this? What did I have today? Eucalyptus. And that's also, if you're stress eating, eucalyptus automatically, it lowers that cortisol hormone, the stress hormone.
Yeah. That is produced from eating. So in a lot of the things that we feel, and I want you to focus on, I'm coming right back to you, because when we already, by the time we get to the How to Eat to Live books, we've already overeaten. We've already been on a How to Eat to Die instead of How to Eat to Live. So when we are fasting, the things that, some of these sensations that we feel, this is our body using that material that was inside of us, because it never used it when you ate it. That it was collecting it. So you never was in that anabolic state. That's what I like earlier. So when you're in that anabolic state and your body is burning that stuff off using it, you might, that burger you ate 2 months ago, you might just getting to using it today. And now as your body is using it, you feeling some type of way because you're getting that energy and that stuff that was in it.
Right.
So while you're feeling like that, eucalyptus, sis, go ahead.
Yes, eucalyptus. Just take the top off of it. Inhale. Just breathe.
Come on, man.
Within 22 seconds, it lowers your cortisol level. You'll feel, at ease. You can feel better, clear-minded, so you can think and not go and overindulge in eating.
Yes. And you can save yourself. And by all means, everybody that's listening, the How to Eat to Live is a gift. Fasting is a gift. Right.
The gift of life.
Yes. Of your life. Of our individual life. Because in the book, he clearly tells us that the intentions of the originate of Master Farad Muhammad in the book and the science of how to eat to live was so we could extend our own life. So we could go from 40, 50, 60 to 500 or 1,000 or however long you want to live. But we need the body to be as healthy as we can make it, right? So that's where the act of fasting comes in. So if you do pollute yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, you don't have to go take nothing to cleanse yourself. You just stop.
Stop.
Man,
just stop.
What a mighty God. He didn't say pray. Listen, he didn't say make tithes or go here on a pilgrimage or build this. He said, listen, fasting, you who believe, fasting is prescribed to you just like it was before those that came before. So this is a beautiful gift where we have the power. See, he put the control of your life right in your hands.
In your hands.
Man, what a God, what a mighty God. I was a Christian, right? And matter of fact, we were Catholics.
Okay.
Whew. Yeah, they was the worst. The Roman Catholics.
Wow.
So yes. But they didn't even teach us that.
Right.
No, I haven't encountered any religion where the God of that religion places the power in our hands, right? Man. So when we are looking at this, it's a gift, and that's how I want us to. I'm trying to present it, and I would like it to be received. Is that this is a divine gift for us to be able, like I said, to take control of our health, our life. So it doesn't matter what our enemy does. Coronavirus, the flu, SARS, it don't matter. AIDS, sickle cell.
Right.
The human body is awesome.
Right. It's designed to heal itself.
Look, what is the okay now? In your bone marrow, all of you got stem cells. Listen, in your bone marrow, you got stem cells in all of your immune cells. They come from right here in the bone marrow of your femur.
Right.
That's where your immune cells and stem cells come from. When we fast, when we are in a state of fast and we are doing nothing and we aren't causing our body to digest and to do other things, now the body is free to produce these stem cells. So when you go through a period of fasting like Ramadan, this is why you come out feeling better, looking better, being better, because now you aren't it's not about polluting. You aren't overworking.
Right.
You're not stressing your body out with this act of eating. So now, listen, your bone marrow is producing these stem cells. This means that once they get to a certain point and they spill out of the bone marrow, they get in the bloodstream and they go to whatever part of your body that it needs, and it starts to reproduce. Man, listen, this is enough. All of our immune cells, they are birthed in this same bone marrow, and they go to different parts of the body, like the thyroid, leukocytes, white blood cells. They mature in the thyroid. So that means they got to travel from your bone marrow all the way up to your neck to mature. When we are eating, when we are in a state of eating, your body can't produce these actions because you're using your mouth, you're using your stomach, you're using your intestines. So you're in a state of using your energy, right?
Right.
So, man, and we got the spinal column. right? This is the brain. This is the spine, right? The spine is like a telephone pole. Energy goes up and down it. Your stomach is right here. Your brain is right here. So when you are eating, your power has to travel down your spine to activate your stomach and your intestines. So this is why you become sleepy. This is why you become tired. This is why you become agitated when you eat, because your power is here.
Right.
So when you fast, when we fast, the power, your stomach isn't activated. So guess where your power is at? Rising up into
powerful.
So at the end of Ramadan, you can think clearly. You can see clearly. You like, man, I can hear better. Right? So we all of us that's experienced Ramadan, at the end of it, we be like superheroes, man. We like, man, I got superpowers, right?
Right. You can make it off little sleep. You have so much energy. So much energy.
This is why our body has a chance to work.
Yeah.
Because the power isn't here trying to digest some food. So the power is here in the control center, in the brain, right? Mm-hmm. So since my body isn't activating here, now that bone marrow, it can do its job. It can send those stem cells, it can send those immune cells through your body.
Right.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we start out at once every 24 hours, right? He said, man, then you move to once every 48 hours. And then he said, you strive to eat once every 3 days and you will never be sick. So if you're not sick, how do you die?
Ooh, oh my God. The opposite.
Listen, if you don't get sick, how you going to die? He said you will never get sick. So the only way that you could possibly get sick is if you break the dietary law that he blessed us with.
Right. Absolutely. Is the cure. He said,
hey, listen, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he upped it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said fasting is 90%. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, 2018, said fasting is the cure for 98%. Woo! He increased it. So that means you got to think that you are in that 2% for fasting now. Like, no, that 98% covers everything. It covers the whole, everything that we weren't born with.
Wow.
And then I was born with a defective heart. How to eat the lead change, because your body will produce stem cells. Your body, man, look.
Come on, Brother Sean. Produces what it needs to heal itself.
This is how God put it together. Yes, he made herbs and stuff, but look at the factory. He gave, and you can hear stem cell research. You can look up stem cell research. Your body has a stem cell factory in it. Your body has an immune factory in it. If it's not working, then it is because we have caused it to stop. How do we cause it to start? Fasting is the cure for 90% of our ills. Man,
that's it. That is it.
I just, man, and as simplistic as it is, that's how easy God wanted to make it for us. Right? To be healthy and strong. Look how easy he made it for us to be healthy. This is a wonderful God. I'm not trying to revert anybody. I just want to share this wonderful, man, Sister Denise. We just want to share, man, oh, what a mighty God that we have present. Our Savior has arrived. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is truly indeed his last and greatest messenger. And we could never thank Either one of them enough, because without the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we wouldn't have known who those two men were. We wouldn't have How to Eat to Live. We would not be able to be the gods that we are.
That's right. We wouldn't even know it. That we are that. Wow.
Hey, sis.
Yes.
Hit them with that eucalyptus one more time.
It's just easy. Just take the top off. I'll put it in a diffuser. Y'all probably see my diffuser going. And that's it. Just inhale, and it'll help to lower your stress hormone. So you won't go in and overindulge, overeat, because you're stressed out. Your mind will feel at ease, clear. You can think, you can breathe better.
Yes.
All of that.
Yes. And that eucalyptus would definitely open you up.
It sure will.
Yeah. You won't be thinking about no food. You'll be like, man, whew.
Right. Absolutely. And I want to also share my new book, Brother Sean.
Yes.
Healing with Sister Denise. In that book is going to teach you how to harness the power of essential oils. I put recipes in there, blends, how to blend it to make different recipes so that you can help yourself. And we're only here to facilitate your healing, but the power to heal is in your hands.
No doubt. You don't have a copy of it yet, do you?
Not yet. It's like fresh off the press.
Oh yeah. Yes, ma'am. What's the say the title again, please?
Healing with Sister Denise. Essential oils for wellness.
Sister Denise has shared it with me, y'all, and I gotta tell y'all that I think y'all should get that, because it'll be awesome. And we try to empower you. We want so we take what we learned and we share it with you, not to be over top of you, but to empower you. So
right.
When we understand, please understand that what the gift that Sister Denise is talking about with the essential oils in the book, because even though there's no side effects, if you don't use it right, you won't get the full benefits.
Exactly.
Right. So you'll just be smelling it and be like, it don't work.
Right. And then you got to make sure you're using pure therapeutic grade oils and not the synthetic oils.
Exactly.
So that's where you come to me for that.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then once you over there and you get your mind right, now you can
right.
Once you get your mind right, you can see me and I can help you get your body right. And I'm going to help you help yourself, because we already have the tools. Fasting, How to Eat to Live. We already have the tools that we need to be successful. So we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We just trying to show that this works, that this is the truth, not because we are believers, but because this is scientific evidence to support what we believe in.
Right. Exactly. Absolutely.
I think my phone's ready cut off, sis.
Is it?
Hold on.
Okay, I put the website on the screen. It's bit.ly/healing with Denise, and it's also available on Amazon. Brother Sean, I think his phone died. So we're going to wrap it up right there. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you for coming on, and share the video. Sharing is caring. Let me see. Brother Sean is his phone went out. But thank you all for tuning in. And when you watch this on the replay, we appreciate you as well. Again, my new book is available on Amazon, Healing with Sister Denise. on Amazon, and the link, I'll put it in the comments so you all can go and get that book. All right. Well, that is it for the Health and Wellness Power Hour for today. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Peace and blessings. Enjoy the rest of your evening.